More surface the kind. Again, surface more. Again, it again. Then where is my my phone? iPad? Why it is not there? What did he do? Tangible. Oh, the recording open. I need a clock. Logga. I can go up to 110.
I welcome all of you. This is the second session of Festival Arshavidya Indological Conference. And the second session will begin the sublingual.
No. Pyramidal Vedantic literature.
Okay, pyramidal Vedantic literature. And the speaker is Swami Arshavidya and Professor Dr. R. Ganesh will chair the session. I request Swami present the paper.
I can't see anything. It on me? It on me? It account. What is this?
Right.
So both will work. No, this will work and this will work. ठीक है. Namaste. So my paper is Pyramidal Vedantic Literature. How over a period of time, from the Mula Grantha, our Acharyas, they have written commentary on the Mula Grantha, unfolded. Then on that again, there has been commentary on that. Again, there has been commentary to cater to the understanding of lay people like us, and how in the course of 1,000 years a pyramidal structure has is there based on the unfoldment of the Mula Grantha. So, with reference to our own, because we are familiar, anybody is familiar with their subject matter. So, since our subject matter is the Upanishads, the Prasthanatraya, so that pyramidal structure I will try to unfold. So, what is the Prasthanatraya of our Vedanta Shastra? The Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and the Brahma Sutra. They are the Prasthanatraya of Vedanta. So, Prasthana means foundation. The three Prasthanas, one is Shruti Prasthana. So, the Upanishads being the Mula Grantha, they are known as the Shruti Prasthana. Then Bhagavad Gita being uh, what nomenclatured as Smriti Grantha, that is the Smriti Prasthana. What Brahma Sutra does is all the apparently conflicting statements in the Shruti, that is reconciled in Brahma Sutra, so that is known as Nyaya Prasthana. These are the three Prasthanas we study when we enter into Advaita Vedanta. Okay, and on all these three Prasthanas, Shankara has written elaborate Bhashya. So that becomes our syllabus for Advaita Vedanta. So I'll go to the Mula Grantha, that is Sutra literature. Sutra literature second portion of the Sanskrit literature, and being considered as the Mula Grantha. So what happened? We have the Sutra of Kapila, we have the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali, we have the Nyaya Sutra of Gautama, we have Vaisheshika Sutra, we have Mimamsa Sutra of Jaimini, then Brahma Sutra of Badrayana. And just because it is connected, let me say that in Kalpa Sutra we have Shrota, we have Smarta, Griha Sutra, Dharma Sutra, and all that. Okay. And I have taken the trouble of telling the author of that particular sutra and how many sutras it has. Sankhya attributed has got 527. Okay, since it is a very informed audience, okay, so Sankhya Sutra is descriptive, Yoga Sutra is also descriptive, Nyaya Sutra of Gautama is also descriptive, Vaisheshika Sutra of Kannada is also descriptive. When you come to Mimamsa Sutra of Jaimini, it is analytical. Same with Uttar Mimamsa, Brahma Sutra, Badrayana is also analytical. But most of the other sutras are descriptive. Even the Panini Ashtadhyayi also will come under description. So the nature of Purvamimamsa Sutra and our what Brahma Sutra, they being analytical and trying to reconcile the apparently conflicting statements of the Shruti. So they are what the nature is distinctly different from these descriptive sutras. You know, uh, Pujaswamiji told all that, no? So, okay, Vatsayana belong to it. What is the descriptive sutra literature? In descriptive sutra literature, we have Sankhya Sutra, we have Yoga Sutra, we have Visheshaka Sutra. Panini is also Vyakarana. In analytical, we have Puramimamsa and Brahma Sutra. These two. Okay, I'm only repeating myself. So, what happens? During that particular period, Brahma Sutra. So, as Puju Swamiji says, already everything, all the work has been done. Our duty is only to study it. So, how they have defined what is a sutra? The definition of sutra is Alpaksharam, Asandigdham, Saravat, Vishatomukham, Astobham, Anavadyam cha, Sutra Vido Viduhu. This is the definition. I think it is in Vishnu Dharmatra Purana or Skanda Purana. Skanda Purana has got 75,000.
81.
Yeah, whatever, So, what our Acharya says, if you cannot quote, you say it is in Skanda Purana, let them find out. So, each one of these, I'll try to explain. Alpaksharam, because the whole definition is the what? Atato Brahma Jignasa or what is the first one of Ashtadhyayi? Vriddhiradej. So, what is Vriddhiradej? Unless we have undergone the discipline of its unfoldment in the Gurukula, for a lay person, Vriddhiradej means nothing. Athato Brahma Jigyasa also means nothing. Athato Dharma Jigyasa also means nothing. So, it has to be, Sutra means it has to be like a formula, A square plus B square, A plus B whole square, like that. So, it has to be very crisp, brief, in as few words as possible. The next criteria is it has to be asandigdham. Okay, it is alpaksharam, but it should not be ambiguous at the cost of being alpaksharam. Brevity is there, but it cannot be ambiguous at the cost of brevity. So these two are the basic requirement. So alpaksharam, asandigdham. Okay. So, it is Alpaksharam and it is Asandigdham. It has to convey something, no? Supposing it says the like last unfoldment I said, the crows in the heaven are white. Okay. मुझे क्या? So it has to be Saravat. It must serve a purpose. Okay. It cannot be a meaningless sutra. It cannot be a meaningless formula which is not beneficial or useful for me. This is, it must have a topic, and that topic must be a topic for discussion, and it should not be something that is very obvious. If it is very obvious, then it does not enjoy the definition of a sutra. And since we are taking the Mula Grantha, it should not be available for any other means of pramana. So only that pramana, Shruti pramana, should be the uh, means of knowledge. Vishuddha Mukham is that sutra should take mm, the whole picture in view. So there, what example will come is अथातो ब्रह्म जिज्ञासा जन्माद्यस्य यतः शास्त्र योनित्वात् शास्त्र no Vishuddhamukam is the third one. Shastra Yonitvat. So both the samasa will come. Shastra Yasya Yoni, Bahuri as well as Shastra Yoni. So what is that Brahman? The Shastra Yoni plus Shastra Yoni Yasya.
Shastram
like
Yoni
that.
Yasya.
Yeah, Shashti Tatpurusa as well as Bahuri.
Bahuri.
So that is how the Vishuddhamukam definition, that factor of sutra, definition of sutra comes, Vishuddhamukam. Okay. So the law of harmony has to be there. Law of harmony, Vishuddhamukam, is that you take into account what has gone before and what comes after and try to reconcile. Then what is the fifth factor of definition of sutra? Astobham. Astobham is one example, traditional example of Astobham is Ramabhisheke Madavifalaya Hastachito Hema Ghato Yuvatyaha Sopana Margeshu Karoti Shabdam Tan Tan Tatatan Tan Tatatan Tatan Tam. That is Tobham. It contributes nothing to the meaning of the. So you, in the sutra literature, like you say, Matra Lave, Putra Lava. So in the sutra letters, not only one word, even one syllable extra you will not find. Then what it becomes, the whole thing gets diluted. When you see a movie of a great director, whether it's Satyajit Ray or anybody else, you will see, when you become a connoisseur of good film, you will see that nothing in that frame or in the film could have been dispensed with. That is what is, I'm giving a comparison of, okay, in the sutra, it is like that, the inclusion of anything else was not necessary, and whatever is there should not be dispensed with. That is what it is. Astobham. So the stobham aspect of tan 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 is not there in any sutra. That is what. Okay. So astobham, then what? Anavadyam. Anavadyam is there should not be any blemish grammatically or logically. Also, Purapar Virodha should not be there, and there should not be any defect with any other disciplines of knowledge. Supposing we take history, or we take geography, or we take physics, or we take chemistry. What the physics says, he's an engineer, okay? So what physics says, chemistry cannot say, no, it's not like that. And whatever chemistry says, physics cannot say. Then, both of them will be invalid. So that is how Anavadyam comes. Then what happens? We treat the sutras as the Mula Grantha. Okay. Then it becomes very difficult, very cryptic. The sutra, you take Brahma Sutra, very cryptic for a common, even not an Advaita Vedantin scholar. For a scholar of any other discipline also, it becomes very difficult to understand. So our acharyas, being compassionate, they could understand the restlessness and the difficulties of scholars. So what they wrote, they wrote commentary, the initial commentary on the Mula Grantha. So in the pyramid, we have Shankaravasya on both Shruti Prasthana, Smriti Prasthana, and Nyaya Prasthana. Then it is not that because Bhashyam is there and Shankara Bhashyam is there and it is on the Mula Grantha, it is easy to understand. No, Shankara Bhashyam also is Lohe Kachana. Okay, it takes the study of first the grammar, then mimamsa, then other things. Okay, to the extent somebody is equipped with other disciplines of knowledge, to that extent is the clarity of the sutra. So bhashyam. So what happened? The tradition didn't stop with bhashyam. Again, our own acharyas, they found it difficult. Even Shankara Bhasha is not comprehensible for a common uh, scholar. We are not talking about common people at all. Hmm. And I'll give the definition of Bhashyam. This is a technical paper. So, Sutrartho Varnyate Yatra Vakyaihi Sutranusaaribihi Swapadani cha Varnyante Bhashyam Bhasha Vido Vidu. So, what is the responsibility of the Bhashyakara? He or he will explain what the sutra, he will explain what the sutra says, okay, with logic, defending the sutra and all that. In case he brings in his own logic, that also he has to explain everywhere. This is how bhashyam is different from vritti. So he has the responsibility of defending the Mula Grantha, and if he brings in his own logic to explain anything, that also he has to explain. That is the responsibility. Only then a body of work can be defined as bhashya. I'm just touching and going, not because of time. Just this much is enough. So what happens? In every tradition there is a bhashyakara. Supposing you take Kalidasa, Mallinatha is the bhashyakara. If you take Niruktam, Durgacharya is the bhashyakara. If you take Jaimini, then Sabarswami, no?
Sure.
Sabarswami becomes the bhashyakara, and of course we know that Patanjali is the bhashyakara of Yoga Sutra.
Vyas Bhashya. Patanjali is a Panini.
Yeah. Huh. So I'm just deviating a little from the thing to connect the things. Yeah, I'm not forgetting anything. So because of the style, Patanjali is known as the Mahabhashyakara. Okay, he developed a style. That style was followed by Sabaraswami.
Yes.
After so many hundreds of years. Again, after 700 years, the style of Sabaraswami was followed by
Shankara.
Shankara. That is how it is. So the tradition has given the level of, I mean, what can I say? The title of Mahabhashyakara to Patanjali, and Sabaraswami comes in Puramimamsa Sutra, and we have our Shankara. The respect that we give Shankara in our tradition, please understand that the same respect is given to Mallinatha, those who are pursuing Sahitya, right?
No.
And Durgacharya for Niruktam. The same respect. Then, as I said, that even Shankara's Bhashya is Lohika Chana, so there was further commentary on Shankara's Bhashya, on the whole Prasthantraya. So, on Brahma Sutra, you can see that pyramid on Brahma Sutra, Shankara Bhashya, Tika has been written by Padmapada, titled Panchapadika. That is because we say that he wrote on the whole thing, but his uncle was a Mimamsaka, so he burnt everything, and only the remnants that five first five sutras unfoldment of it is there. So Panchapadika, that becomes a school, and then by Vachaspati Mr. Bhamati. Okay, then Anandagiri, Nyaya Nirnaya, and Govindananda, which we study in our Arshavidya Parampara, Ramananda, Ratnaprabha. These are the commentaries and tikas on Shankarabhashya. Hmm. So, as I was referring, this commentaries tika on Vachaspati Mishra's tika titled Bhamati, Amalananda has commented line by line in his Vedanta Kalpataru. which again in turn has been commented upon by Avedikshita in his Parimala. Hmm. This is how it is. Then, supposing people think that okay, the tradition has stopped at Tika. Tradition has not stopped at Tika. They have taken it further, made it. We should be grateful for the tradition because they have made it easier for us. We are being able to study the Shastra and understand it, digest it, and present it to the thing. Tippani is in modern parlance you can say it a footnotes. And in the current times means say past 100 years, Tippani you can say um, okay, some Swami Vishnu Devananda of our Kailash Ashram, he has given the Tippani on all the Prasthantra, their own set of books on that Shankarabhashyam and then Tika and Tippani. He passed away during our right, so that is there. Hmm. This is one pyramidal structure. Then what happens? There is vritti that doesn't come under this pyramidal structure. Vritti is a simple unfoldment of the sutra with no logic, no explanation, no logic, and vritti is a short and simple gloss explaining the sutra in a more elaborate way, but not as extensively as a bhashyam. So without bringing the Purapaksha and Siddhanta. One example, Vrittikara is Bodhayana. Okay, what he had done. So his vrittis were in Kashmir. Then Ramanuja went, and they didn't allow him to take the book. Then he had gone with his
Kuresha.
Shisha. Then he told his Shisha to memorize the whole thing. Then he memorized. Then he documented. Then what we accuse Ramanujacharya of, if he had wanted, he could have documented it, Bodhana Vritti. But if he had documented Bodhana Vritti, then his Sri Bhashyam would not have been read by anyone else. So we always like, he started, keep laughing, keep laughing. So the way he has criticized the Saptabhita and Upapatis, you also say you did all these things, so you are what of that Papa. Because he was married, he had a family, he started scandalizing Shankara. Then we also say, okay, this. It's not that Shankara fought with Ramanuja fought with Shankara, but how can I let go of Anandar Vishwatadvait without fighting with him? They also, and that is going on. Satabhushani, then thing it is going on until now. Doesn't matter when the lunch break comes. Both of us, both the schools have lunch together. Take dakshina, go home. Really? No, really. You're right, no? So we are very Visishta, this life, Jivan Mukti is not that. Visishta, they don't accept Jivan Mukti. They don't. Okay.
Vedanta Deshika at one point suggests in
He's
Achyuta
very
Shataka,
strong.
Jeevam Mukka Sarga Achyua Tava Bhakta, like that. He says your bhaktas are similar to Jeevan Muktas. Means he is respected.
He was a great scholar. Almost at par with Ramanujacharya.
Yes.
Great. But I feel that based on your Purva Punya, one comes to this or comes to that. I feel you will dilute everything. Okay, Vritti. Okay, then we have, this is one what? This is one pyramid. Vritti, simple Vritti. On Vritti, there is nothing. Okay, if you, as Puja Swamiji says, so you have the Mula Grantha, you have the Bhashyam, you have the Tika, then you have Tippani. Sometimes I become conscious of what I am telling. Puja Swamiji said, if you cannot understand even after going through Tippani, throw your books in Ganga. A compassionate Swami like Puja Swamiji, throw, and then this is not for you. So then there is Vritti, then there is Vartika. Vartika is what? It is regarded as the duty of the Bhashyakara to fully explain the intention of the Sutrakara. Vartika we have in Ashtadhyayi, So, okay, when I give the definition, then you will know what is the duty of the Vartika. What is it? Ukta, Ukta, Nukta, Duruktanam. What is Uktam? What is Anuktam? And what is Duruktam? What is has not been said? What is wrongly said? Chinta yatra pravartate. Okay, he's more worried, because Katyayani is as great a scholar as Panini. Anybody who finds defect in a Moola Grantha naturally has to be as good or as better as good or better than the original. Otherwise, how? So tam grantham vartikam prahu vartikagya manishinaha. So a review of what is said. So it will come to his mind. Okay, this is said. Hey, this is not said. So he will say. So we'll have Ashtadhyayi Sutras, all the Sutras. Then some Vartika will have, which is given equal respect with the Sutra. I'm telling Ashtadhyayi because we have studied Ashtadhyayi along with Katayana's Vararuchi or Katyayana. We say, some say they are different people, we say they are same person. That is done. In case of this pyramidal structure where Vartika, so Sureshwaracharya has written Vartika not on Bhashyam. It is a parallel unfoldment of the Moola Grantha. And what Shankara has done, suppose Shankara told Sureshwara, okay, you write on Brihadaranyaka, you write, because already he's a scholar, only his philosophy was different. You write on Brihadaranyaka, Taitriya. Then Shankara has given him the freedom. Okay, you write. Then Shankara doesn't judge. Okay, this thing he's right and this he's not right. No, you have unfolded it. You have unfolded it. Then the Bhashyakara doesn't interfere. This is how it is. So yeah, it's time. Good for me. So. Are you getting me? The most complex pyramid is you have the Moola Grantha, then you have a mental blackboard and try to see what I'm saying. So you have the Moola Grantha, then you have Bhashyam, then you have Tika, then you have Tippani. That is one model. Okay, that is one pyramid. Another pyramid is you have Moola Grantha, you have Bhashyam, parallel you have Vartika. That is one model. One pyramid, that is. And the other is you have Moola Grantha, you have Vritti. What is it? You have Brahma Sutra, you have Bodhayana Vritti. Then you have Moola Grantha, you have Karika. What is it? Mandika Upanishad, and you have Karika of Gaudapada. This is how. Roughly, if you understand, then you can put slot the things where it is there and what is its position in the tradition of this particular discipline. I'm not saying Advaita Vedanta only. So based on this, three different schools. I would say different, like you have Gharanas in the music and dance. So it is just different. Gharana becomes, if you are a master and you have a Shishya becomes master and get a Shishya, within 3 generations, a Gharana is created, but labeled Gharana. So, during my lifetime, Odissi has reached Gharana, 3 Gharanas. In North Indian, Hindustani parampara, we have lot of Gharanas because it has been there since hundreds of years. But in case of Odissi, because we are saying it is only 50 years old, so during my lifetime, they have come with 3 Gharanas. So based on these pyramids, there are 3 schools. What is it? Bhamati Prasthana, Bhamati school, that is Brahma Sutra, then Sankara's Brahma Sutra Bhashyam, then Bhamati Vachaspati Misra, on which Amalananda Skalpataru, on which there is Parimala of Apadikshita. Okay, that is the thing, the last pyramid. The second pyramid is Vivarana Prasthana. There is subtle difference between Bhamat school and Vivarana school about whether meditation is required or not required. Then there is Adhikari Bheda and all those things. Okay, so in Vivarana, you have Brahma Sutra, then Brahma Sutra Bhashyam. Try to hold it in your mind. You have Brahma Sutra Bhashyam, then Panchapadika. Padmapada, no? Padmapada. And on Panchapadika, Vivarana, Prakashatma Yati has written Vivarana, on which Vidyaranya has written Vidyaranya Prameya Sangraha. That is the second. Then these are the two. What I have put in is Anandagiri school is there because Anandagiri has written, like Malina or Kalidasa, we have Anandagiri for Shankara. So Anandagiri school. Yes. Brahmasutra, Shankara's Nyaya Nirnaya of Anandagiri, on which Govindananda has written Ratnaprabha, which Puja Swamiji follows and we follow. We follow only Ratnaprabha. On which there is Purnanandyam. We have not gone up to Purnanandyam, but that is it is Purnananda, who is Govindananda's disciple, but the first four sutras, Chatusutri only. Then we have okay, he has become famous during his lifetime. Ratnaprabha school. I have to do one. This has become a school, huh? Ratnaprabha school. So again Brahmasutra Bhashyam, then Ratnaprabha. Okay. Then Purnanandiyam. It's only 500-year-old, no? Govindananda, Ramananda, 16th century means 500-year-old, right? No. So compared to the historicity, it is very fresh. Very fresh. 100 years. 150.
Apayadikshita, 15th, 16th century. So almost
his great granddaughter is on Twitter. Apayadikshita. She's a doctor.
Not great granddaughter. Much. Yes.
But she said, I am great granddaughter of. She's a doctor, MBBS doctor.
Very from the lineage of Apayadikshita, but not great granddaughter, because at least 10 generations would have elapsed.
But I feel very happy to see somebody from the Parampara.
Yes, there are many. There are many from the lineage of
Where in Odisha, not Karnataka?
No, Tamil Nadu, there are many people.
Yeah, we are not. We are just glimpses of something what you have in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. So that is how it is done, the 4 pyramids. Okay, if I had the slides, I would have done it, but all of you are scholastic enough to hold it in your mind. Right. Thanks.
Thank you, Shravani. Saraswati, one of the best record we have from Shravani. And if any question, you can ask. Thank you. I would request Sir to give the bouquet. Bouquet is there.
Bouquets are counted. Let's go for lunch.
I can say one thing.
Yeah.
This is addition, no question. Supplementation. Our tradition of Odissi is quite old, as we have already made a study on temple panels. And they say that these postures which are being practiced now, they are age old. And many our temple culture started say 8th century AD, and visibly they are there. Before that, what was there, I don't know. There we get all postures of Odissi dance.